Yeah. Thank you, Dennis. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. It's been really exciting to be here this week, to staying at the Hotel Lucine and working here at the gallery. Thanks to Bill for the installation and everyone here, Teresa and Dennis especially. It's been a great week. It's exciting for me to show this body of work, which is part of a larger series I've done called Weave, in which there are botanical collages made from photographs that I make of individual plants. So for example, these plants live at Laguna Gloria, which is a place in Austin. And I made several photographs of these plants. I combine the images digitally, and then I print them myself in my studio. So that's a very briefly sort of what you're looking at, which is a question obviously that comes up pretty readily when you're looking at these pieces. I titled the body of work, again, the larger body of work is called Weave because of this sort of weaving interaction of the images. That interaction is important to me for a number of reasons, but one thing I'm thinking about is how we are constantly being shaped and shaping the environment around us. So as we encounter things in the world, they change us, and as we encounter things in the world, we change them. So that interaction works against the sort of static nature that a photograph is often sort of showing us something instead of showing sort of an interaction. So that's where I'm coming from in terms of what's happening in the medium of photography, and what I think I want to say about is most meaningful to me and possible within the medium. This show called The Wild Nearby, I was really thinking about wild spaces and the fact that in the world we live in, there's not a lot of truly wild spaces anymore. Most everything is surveyed and mapped to some degree. I often find these sort of plants that are in my immediate environment, whether this is a few blocks from my house at a garden nearby. This is in my backyard, these purple ivy, or these ivy that I've made purple here to express my sort of enthusiasm for this landscape. These are all immediately available to us. If we want something exotic and exciting, we probably don't need to look very far, right? The weeds that are growing in the cracks in the sidewalk, or a little bloom in our neighbor's yard, is probably really all we need to find real beauty, and something that can sort of give us energy and connect us to a broader idea about life and the miracle of the natural world, if you will. So that's a kind of a couple of basic ideas that are going on in this show, but I'm happy to answer a question or two if anything, anybody has something.
We could open for questions.
Like when the work is woven to a certain degree, it's like to the degree of those four hanging on dowels there, or the long one also on dowels. They become very much like tapestries, woven to an extent that's like a rug or something that that reads more in the language of fabric or textiles. And so hanging them in this, referencing this more conventional way of showing rugs and textiles, like the sculpture in the middle, or these dowels hanging loose. This kind of crossover play between what is paper, what is fabric, how is this thing created, and how can a photograph be woven or sort of enter that space, are some things I'm thinking about. Thanks. I have never been a painter, but I would imagine it might be similar to how a painter works, in that I start changing the color in individual areas, and it rebalances, of course, the composition and how the image is, how the work is experienced every time you add anything, right? So if it's a bit of orange in one corner, it's going to change the rest of the image, and then I'll sort of work in adding in colors throughout the entire thing until it feels like it's balanced to me in some way. So I guess it's kind of an internal moment that we all have, whether it's like in how you dress yourself or how you appoint a room or something. It's like you keep moving until it feels like this is a good place. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you all.